Fixie has a 10. Did I say 107 or 106?
You said 107 originally.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so I'll try that again without fumbling. Galaxtic at the moment has a 107.16. fixylol has a 107.17. And given the fact that we've had several close races, this should be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And looks like we're taking off with both runners talking to Flowey. So the main mechanic of this run that we're going to see is mashing, and how that works is you have two keys to press that advance the text and two key presses that advance the text box. So for the text you have X and Shift, and for the text boxes you have Z and Enter. I think there's just a little bit of a desync at the moment, so
yeah, that tends to happen. That should be fixed shortly.
And so both runners, I think, do practice the piano mashing method, which is rotating between Z, X, Enter, and Shift in a circular motion. And so a little bit of a disclaimer here. Until recently, music mods were banned within Undertale runs, but because apparently Megalovania has a very bad track record of getting copyrighted claims in Geno runs, we basically decided to allow music mods in-game. So that's why you're hearing Deltarune music in Undertale.
And okay, something we should mention is what's going on right now. They both killed that Frogget. It's really good to kill that Frogget. In this category, you want to kill a certain amount of encounters in each area of the game. That Frogget doesn't increment the counter that you need of the number of enemies that you need to kill. However, it does help you level up, which helps you kill enemies faster. And there's damage rolls on that Frogget to where you can not kill it even if you get a perfect hit. So both of them didn't even get a perfect hit, and they were still completely fine.
Yeah. So, as it stands at the moment, because both of these runners, as well as Snowy Y, who all have fairly close PBs and were fairly closely seated in the brackets, are in the same group. So at the moment, Snowy currently leading the group with 2 wins, Galaxtic second place, and then Fixie right behind. So the winner of this match may well determine the second spot for who goes through out of that group.
Mm-hmm. So we get to grind 1 here. The Ruins grind is split up into 2 parts. For the first part, we're going to be going for 12 kills in these 2 screens right here. There are 2 enemies you can get, Frogget and Whimsin. Whimsin you can just insta-kill. Frogget you have to wait through a turn. So it's not ideal to get Frogget. But even if you get Frogget, there's multiple attacks that can be used, and there's one better than the other. So there's a lot going on with Frogget, but you don't really want to see him.
Yeah. I don't think these numbers are exact, but I did some digging around. It is a 33% chance to get a single Whimsin normally. With Frogget, it's a 66% chance, but taking into account the frog skip attack that you just saw on Galactic screen, I believe it's a 40% chance to get a non-frog skip and a 27% chance to get a frog skip. So frog skip in total, that is, not just in terms of actually getting the Frogget as well. So overall, it's actually more likely to get a normal Frogget than a Whimsin than a frog skip.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I got my numbers around the wrong way, which wouldn't surprise me.
So keeping track, it looks like Fixie is a little bit in the lead.
I'm gonna say Galaxtic. Okay, that's.
Okay, I'm downing Fixie's volume because that shocks me.
Yeah. Slight volume warning, by the way, in case anyone didn't get it yet. Yeah, I think Fixie is 1 encounter ahead at the moment. I think he's at 8, maybe? Or... No, he'd be at... He's leveled up already, so I'm presuming he's at 10, which means Galactic's now just getting his 10th. So both runners actually getting a decent setup with their RNG. Yeah, so Fixie going for his 12th now. So obviously you'll notice both runners at level 3 during the first half grind. Obviously the later you hit level 3 the better, because it means you're getting more Whimsins. Worst thing that can happen is leveling up at 7 kills, which is basically almost all Froggets. Like, I think 5 out of 7 or 6 out of 7 Froggets usually. So I think we're going to see both runners here going for the sign skip. So what this is, you talk to the sign, and instead of getting the tutorial phone call after the spike bridge gets lowered, you actually don't get the phone call. And we're Fixie getting a Whimsun to close out the first half there. That's not too bad, actually. Slight volume warning moments after everyone's eardrums have been destroyed. I apologize for that. I didn't actually know it was going to be that loud. And
Yeah, that surprised me. I was like, okay, we're good, right? No.
so, Galaxtic actually ahead of Fixie again somehow? Or
No.
is he doing a different grind? Oh, that's single rock, not triple.
Yeah, he just finished single rock room. Well.
Okay.
Uh,
So Fixie getting a triple first up in the triple rock room is actually good. It's not the worst encounter, but obviously, ideally you want to get the 2 double frog Whimsuns first, and then the triple mold last, because you want to be... So with this run, how it works is there's a kill counter, obviously, and there's a step counter. And the more kills we have on our counter for each area, the higher the step counter actually progresses in order to get the next encounter. So it would have been more advantageous to Fixie to getting the triple mold at the end rather than first, because now he's going to be on 18 instead of 17, providing he gets the right encounter here.
16 instead of 15. Also, that's not a fun thing to see from Galaxtic.
Oh no, single mold is no bueno. And he gets a frog bug, so, well, what we call frog bug, because obviously Whimsun looks like a bug. So that's a good encounter, and he gets double frog skip there, so that's actually really optimal there. If he gets another frog Whimsun, then this could be a 740x clear.
This could be one of the best. Interesting. Okay, good. That's not just on.
Apologies in chat. We do have a little bit of stream buffering at the moment on our end.
Oh,
so,
my Fixie.
hasn't come up on my end yet, so...
I paused and unpaused, and it
Okay. Oh, he got a frog Whimsun. That is...
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I just did the quick pause, repause thing and pushed that forward.
Yeah.
So, actually, there was a sub 740 ruins clear, basically, so... If I
Really
remember
good.
correctly, if I remember correctly, it's about 2.5 minutes out of ruins from that point. So this is probably going to be like a low 10-minute ruins, which... I'm assuming that we had some really low ruins times in the Shay and Ha race the other day. I wasn't actually able to catch that myself, but... if not, this is definitely one of the lowest ruins times we're going to see in the tournament. And we see Stick finishing as well.
Yep. This music is so stupid.
Sad violin is sad. Womp womp. Okay, Nha and chat confirming that they weren't very low.
Damn, should have gotten better luck.
So this is probably like one of the lowest, if not the lowest, ruins grind times we've seen.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, you'll probably... Something I should mention as well is that both runners actually would have a kill counter on their life split layout. Doesn't always seem to be used all the time. I mean, I'm not gonna self-shame here, but there have been instances where runners have miscounted in certain areas, and myself being one of them recently.
Myself being one of them.
I mean, so funny story. So in the last tournament race I did against Bradley, I actually miscounted the Mold Small and Waterfall, and that threw my count off, meaning I flared a Timmy, which I actually should have killed, knowing that I was at 17 instead of 16.
Mhm.
And that meant I had to get an extra encounter, which was an Aaron Washua, which lost even more time. So, yeah, always pay attention to your kill counter in Undertale, kids, because you might make a mistake that Okay, Fixie in chat saying that's the best ruins he's ever got.
Dang.
If this is sub 10 ruins, this is going to be really good because sub 10 ruins is really hard to get because of how RNG dependent it is. But I'm going to say this is going to be definitely like between 10 and 10-10.
Split for ruins usually.
Yeah, for ruins this is a really good pace. I mean, for context, there's only been, I think, 7 or 8 runners that have actually gotten a sub 10 ruins before in runs. So a 10, 11, 12 is actually not really too far off that, and it's not actually too bad considering. Yeah, Fixie, stop with that. You're jinxing it. You're jinxing yourself, Fixie. Stop. If anything, it's probably going to be me that jinxes it for you because I'm probably going to do commentator's curse like, oh, this is really good RNG and waterfall.
Hopefully Fixie gets good RNG for the rest of the run.
Hopefully Fixie doesn't get 4 Temmies at 16. Also,
But
yeah,
that sounds like so much fun.
Temmy at 18. I can just imagine that. It's like, we just get to waterfall. It's like, okay, so Fixie's done his scripted kills. And oh boy, it'd be a real shame if he got all Temmies from here on out. So yeah, now we're entering the outskirts of Snowdon. And obviously, so there's actually been a bit of discussion with the Snowdon grind. Because there's actually discussion about whether or not it's better to separate the grind into 2 parts like we have in Ruins. The problem is, doing a split grind for Snowdon is essentially the same as Ruins because you get 1 of 2 encounters and one's a 2-turn, one's a 1-turn.
Pixie, don't do that.
And obviously, with the Chilldrake encounter that's going to be coming up after we kill Snowdrake, we don't want to be getting those. So in Ruins, we don't really have much of a choice in the matter since obviously Frogget or Whimsin don't really do much about it either way. But since we don't normally do split grind strats, and I think both of these runners won't be either. So that's actually something that I want to look into after the fact when I've got some spare time, is actually seeing how optimal it would be. Because there are actually encounters and mini-bosses that come up in the Snowdon area that, if you're actually a level higher, would save a turn optimally. But the problem is with how we grind is we don't actually hit those levels until after those encounters. So the Snowdrake that came up on stick screen was mandatory. So if you actually don't kill the Snowdrake and you refuse to kill it throughout the entire grind, you actually get a message saying that you let the comedian live, which is essentially the way of saying you've aborted the run. So there's actually a few encounters throughout the run that you actually have to kill, otherwise it aborts the run. And obviously Doggo and coming up Dogome Doggoressa being one of them.
Yeah, any mini boss is really like some mini bosses won't apply to the kill counter, like some of these dogs that you mentioned. However, you still need to kill them for the run to be considered a genocide.
Yeah. It's funny like that. It's like they don't count towards the count, but we still have to kill them. Okay. So yeah, I was talking about split grinding before, which obviously we're not going to see, but normally what we do is we get the Snowdrake and Ice Cap that come up normally, and then we get one encounter coming up in the room that Fixie's in before Dog Marriage, and then everything else comes at the end of Snowdon. That's the current default strat, and obviously that's... And Fixie actually mismenuing to hit Jerry first, so oh boy. And a miss.
Oh goodness.
Okay, see, I didn't say anything. So unfortunately, because you did get a triple there, it's going to take a little bit more time to kill, but yeah. And actually, if Galaxtic only gets an ice cap, which he doesn't, then he would have been ahead, but not on kills. So
Yeah, he would have been behind on kills, which probably would have led to him being still behind technically, but looking ahead in gameplay.
well, it depends on what the second half would have held for everyone as well.
Yeah, but we gotta get there first.
Yeah. So with Dog Marriage, this is probably one of the encounters that being an extra level would actually be an advantage. But unfortunately, there's no real way to get to level 8 before this point unless you basically just grind everything early on. Because that would be a 2-hit right there. You can see how close Fixie is to a 2-hit, but unfortunately at this point it's always a 3-hit. And the reason we killed Doggeressa first instead of Dogamy is Dogamy has a massive defense lower. He basically loses all his defense when you kill Doggeressa. Whereas if we did it the other way around, obviously Doggeressa would be more aggressive and her attack would be harder. So one thing you're noticing at the moment is the puzzles have all already been done. So we don't have to worry about those. So coming up is Ice Puzzle Skip Skip, as we jokingly call it, because normally we skip Ice Puzzle completely, but because we don't actually have to do it this run, we just don't do the skip. So we've got Greater Dog here, and that's another one of the encounters that could be argued being at level 8 here would actually make this more optimal and turn it from a 3-turn to a 2-turn. So a 1-turn dog skip there. So another little tidbit is you actually can't start grinding in Snowden at this point until you actually get Sans to leave the room. Reason being, Sans essentially blocks us from getting any encounters in that area.
Yeah, until you go through the screen transition and remove everything else in this room is Sans encounter.
So it's actually funny with Fixie's RNG again, he's getting a lot of singles early on, which is good because you actually want to get, well, when I say singles, I mean single ice cap because we don't worry about Jerry. So, fun fact with this run, we don't actually have to kill everything we come across. Technically, there are some encounters we can spare or flee. In this case, Jerry being one of them because Jerry's not really considered a unique encounter. So Fixie's actually getting really good RNG in the first half of the grind, so he's got 3 singles in a row. So it's going to put him at 8. Because I believe the optimal strategy for this RNG wise is to get up to, I believe, 10 or 12. So
I think it's 11 actually.
Yeah. I think it's actually 11 because then 2 triples declare, but then you have to kill Jerry. It's either 11 or 12, I'm not 100% sure. But obviously getting a double there, so that puts him at 10. Yeah, Geno's actually not as long to run as people think, because usually, well, depending on RNG and obviously the skill level of the runner, it can be somewhere about 10-15 minutes slower than neutral. TPE any percent is actually usually a lot slower to run than Geno in terms of the timing of it, because there's another half hour of content that we have to get through. So I think Fixie's at 12 now. I believe Stick is at either 11 or... Stick would be at 11, I'm sure.
Stick is going to be 11 right now when this children dies, and
then,
Fix is at 12.
Yeah. So if Fixie gets 2 more... If both runners get 2 more triples, they'll clear Snowden. Obviously, the trade-off being that Fixie would clear without having to kill Jerry, but Stick would have to kill Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, sorry, wait. If no, wait. So Stick must have been at 12 then. They must have both been at 12. It's hard to keep track sometimes. Yes, this is the group of death, and I would say it's a strong chance that the winner of this match may well be advancing, depending on how the rest of the matches go, but it all depends. I mean, essentially if Stick wins this match, then he'll be advancing for sure, since both you and him will have 2 wins apiece. But if Fixie wins, then it depends on the results of the last round, as to whether or not it will be Stick or Fixie going through. Or whether or not we have 3 people tied on 2 wins each, and then we go to tiebreakers. Because tiebreakers are fun. Oh, and we have both runners killing Jerry, but Fixie has a slight advantage here, and then he's just killed Jerry.
I apparently can't count to 16.
Me neither. So the one
I
thing
was
with the...
one down on both characters count, or both right.
Yeah. Well, because I know Stick said he got a single at 12, so that put him at 13, so that made sense there. So they must have... So Fixie must have got a double and Stick must have got a triple then, correct? Or did they both get triples?
I don't know at this point.
That makes 2 of us. So yeah. And of course, Papyrus is dead. Okay, so Fixie got a triple, which means he would have been on... Oh, so he must have got a single? He must have got... Yeah, we were one off on both, because Fixie would have got a triple to kill Jerry, and then... Yeah, Stick got the double, then the triple. So they both must have been at 13 at that point. What was Fixie's Snowden time? Now, Fixie's just entered the waterfall area, apart from this cutscene, and Stick is about to join them in Waterfall. So Waterfall's one of the few areas outside of Ruins where RNG can be a bit finicky, with Core being the other. Yeah, that's what I was saying before, Snowy, is if Fixie wins this and then if Snowy loses the last match against Stick, then you'd have 3 people on 2 wins each. I mean, this tournament could use a tiebreaker, couldn't it? I mean, there's already been a fair few upsets already, so be a nice change of pace, I think, to have a tiebreaker. Oh, so Fixie fleeing the first Aaron, which is about normal for this area, since Aaron's 2-turn and you can't really... I mean, I guess it would just come down to either head-to-head or time difference between runners or something like that. Or maybe they just have a 3-way race and have the top 2 advance. I don't know. I mean, I'm not running the tournament, so I can't tell you how it's going to work. before we just have all 3 advance and then just have someone else. It's like, oh. Or just have like 11 qualifiers instead of 10. So we're coming up to the first spares cutscene, and obviously Stick also going for the Washua kill.
Okay. I'm sorry. Something happened. I had to step away from a second. Did they both do the same strat in terms of the Aaron and the?
They both missed the Aaron and both went for the Washua.
Okay.
As far as I'm aware, at least. I know Fixie missed the Aaron. I didn't see Stick, but I'm presuming that they missed the Aaron as well. Since they're about the same time behind as they are before. I don't know if it is going to be the average times of the runners, because I mean, like I said, I don't know how it works, but I presume it would be something along those lines of having the averages or something like that. I mean, the one thing I'm actually interested in figuring out how it's going to work is getting all the people advancing into the brackets for the knockouts, because obviously it was supposed to be a top 8 format, but we kind of had a bit of a change around with that. Now it's top 10, so there's extra brackets to deal with. So we're going to see Fixie picking up the next weapon here, which is the ballet shoes, and slightly more damage here. So you can see with the Tough Glove at the moment, it's a single attack pattern and it's just mashing repeatedly to do more damage. But with the shoes and subsequently with the pan and gun coming up later on, we're going to see different attack patterns where it's actually multiple bars going across the screen and we have to try and hit frame perfect on each bar to do more damage.
Shoutouts to Fixie for dropping the stick.
Yep. So Stick Drop's kind of a meme within the community.
Yep.
Oh, and Fixie getting the good RNG again with a double mold encounter here. So the first double mold that you just saw Stick finishing off was actually scripted, but this one is purely RNG, so there's one of 4 encounters you can actually get. Of course, being double mold, Washua Aaron, single Washua, single Aaron. And it actually goes double mold, single Washua, Washua Aaron, then single Aaron in terms of preference. In terms of encounter RNG.
They both get the unscripted double mold.
Oh wow. So that's going to put them both at 5 kills now. Well actually,
yeah.
Stick will be at
Fixie
6.
now at 6 because of the Shiren.
Yeah, the Shiren kill there, so that's... So... Hopefully hopefully neither of the runners did a me and forgot to add one of their kills in, because that would be really tragic. But if not, all things going to plan, both runners will be on 8 going into the second half. And then obviously with the first 3 encounters being scripted, they'll each be at 14, which means they'll need 2 double encounters to clear. However, RNG can be cruel, and of course there's Temmies. And everybody loves Temmies, don't they?
What would be the 8th going into the second half?
You'd have Shiren, Glad Dummy, and Temmy.
Oh, okay. You're counting the scripted Temmy as first half.
I count the scripted Temmy as going into the second half, because obviously you technically just, well, I mean,
I just consider post dummy as second half, so I was a little bit...
So that would be 7 then, I guess. I mean, it makes sense either way.
It's pedantic. We know what we mean.
Yeah, it's semantics. It's, you know, tomato, tomato, potato, potato. So we're coming up to Spares 2 cutscene. And with this cutscene here, we're actually doing a little bit more manipulation with where the spares are coming up. So we're actually holding 2 directions on the keyboard, and that leads the game to actually try and predict where the spares are going to go based on our inputs. So as long as Fixie does everything correctly, there shouldn't be any problems, although he did have to stop there for a little bit to not get hit.
Yeah, you can manipulate the spears like general direction, but like the specific tiles, there's still going to be a little bit going.
Yeah.
Also, you can see spears off the bottom of the screen. That's one of my favorite things about this.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, if Fixie's using the same pack, well, actually, I think because the pack I use I got from Fixie, so we should be seeing a good meme coming up here.
Oh goodness. Yeah, I noticed you guys have some similarities already.
Yes, I got the pack I used from Fixie because I didn't know who
There's
else.
one thing about Fixie's pack that is a little bit unusual that might happen. I won't go into the details, but let's just say I'm running a deal with Fixie right now, and if his part of the deal goes through, which we're going to find out near the end of this run if he stays in the lead, I have to tier 2 sub to him this month.
So, something that we missed real quickly that Fixie was actually doing on the other screen. There's actually a visual glitch you can do there, which is basically walking off the pixel from the platform at a certain angle in a certain position. It's what we call Jesus Frisk, aka Floaty Boy, because obviously walking on water. And Stick, unfortunately, not getting it, so Fixie's run is blessed, and unfortunately for Stick, his run is not. Oh, and Cloudy Glass is there. Interesting move.
I mean, it's not the worst play in the world. It's defense.
Yeah, it's an extra defense stat against Sands, and obviously it does give you extra immunity. It does give you extra invulnerability frames, which can be helpful if you're not too comfortable against Sands. So this mold small is not like the others in that it's actually a mold big in disguise.
Yeah.
So now the grind begins. Fixie on the second scripted encounter and Stick still at the Timmy. So this Aaron's scripted, and you're going to see why. As I said before, Aaron's are a pain to deal with because even at level 9 and even with a really good hit on the shoes, it's still not going to be a one-turn kill. Of course, some runners tend to flee from all of their errands, some runners tend to kill them. It's a preference thing. So, provided the Stick also takes the errand here, and then the next encounter goes to plan, they'll both be at 14.
Yeah, Fixie's lead is pretty decent.
Yeah. So, oh, sorry.
No, that's all I had to say.
Okay. So, fun fact, with the room that Fixie's in now... Oh no. We had to mention Timmy's earlier, didn't we? But yeah, with the last rooms that Fixie's in now, you can actually just walk through them normally, and it's actually long enough to get an encounter without having to grind for it. But of course, with Fixie getting a Timmy at 14, that's going to put him at 15, which...
Not fun number.
Yeah. So... I don't know if he's going to flee the mold big here, or if he's going to still kill it. He did flee it, okay.
Okay.
So, I believe Stick just got his first unscripted encounter, and it was a mold Washua.
Yeah, so they're both going to be at 16 by the time that this mold big goes down. With
Yeah.
Yeah, this got a lot closer.
Yeah. See, this is the difference. This is the difference an ill-timed Timmy can make. Depends on what Stick gets here and what Galaxtic gets as well.
Okay, Galaxtic is going to be done, or not Galaxtic, but Fixie's going to be done with the grind after this.
Yeah. If Galaxtic also gets... He does get it,
oh my goodness.
This is still going to be a fairly close race. This just got a lot closer because of that one Timmy. See, this is why Timmys are bad. Yeah, it's 107-16 versus 107-17. Of course, if both of us had made it through the group stages, another race that would have been fairly close to watch with PBs in mind would have been between myself and Dracodown, because I believe at the moment Draco's PB is a 106.49 with mine being a 106.47. But unfortunately, as it stands, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, unless something really drastic happens in the group stage for Group D. But then, to be fair, there are runners that have PBs that are miles apart, and they've had 2-second races.
Our
There's been
PBs when we raced were 5 minutes apart, and we finished within 1 minute of each.
Yeah, that's just how this category works. Is like you could have a 106 racing on 111, and they both get around 109, 110. So both runners are about to do the Undyne encounter, and this is one of 2 bosses that actually requires, I guess, to put it bluntly, some degree of skill here, because this isn't a typical one-hit kill. So with Undyne the Undying, and obviously Sans coming up later on, these are the 2 bosses that actually require the runners to concentrate and actually do the encounter properly and normally. And there's actually a quick kill here that you can get, which, if you get a certain number of critical hits before a certain turn number, then you actually save a turn on Undyne.
Yeah.
And Fixie getting a perfect start there.
This boss is really cool.
So I believe the math was done on this, considering Undyne has 23,000 HP. I believe you need to get an average of around 1640 to 1650 damage per turn in order to get quick kill.
Yeah.
So getting more critical hits is actually going to help with that, and as you can see, Fixie getting a whole bunch of triples early on, which is really helping his chances of getting quick kill.
Yeah, Fixie's doing really good so far.
Oh,
Getting hit a lot on this attack. Oh goodness.
taking a lot of damage though, which...
Fortunately, that's the only time that specific red heart attack shows up.
Yeah.
But, like, even with the quick kill, you're gonna have to see 2 red heart cycles. I'm under the belief, personally, that red heart attacks are much more difficult to deal with than the green hearts.
Yeah.
If only because there's actual, like, luck in where the green, or the red heart attacks go. Meanwhile, these green heart attacks are, like, always gonna move.
So Fixie's at 10 HP, which is kind of a problematic thing for him at the moment, so I'm not going to say anything else on the matter. Okay. This is too close. This is too intense.
I feel like, again, with what I mentioned, at this point, Fixie might be fine. I'm not 100% sure on... Yeah, no, I think at this point, I think with 2 decent hits, the quick kill's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe, yeah, this is going to be quick kill for Fixie, and there's
This is gonna be quick kill for Fixie,
Yeah.
because Undyne should die right after this turn.
Yep.
Very.
So that's Undyne quick kill. And I believe
While-
if Stick gets a triple crit, he may also get quick kill.
Yeah, if Stick does like 1600, I think he can...
Yep, both
Gets the
runners
crit and the quick kill, oh my goodness.
I think Stick needed a triple crit there to get the quick kill, because it looked like the damage roll might have just been a bit low if he didn't.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah,
this is a great race.
Both runners were at really low HP, and I was actually worried that the unthinkable might happen and we might see an Undyne death, but both runners pulling through in the clutch.
Yeah, both runners and health numbers you're not a fan of.
Yeah. Because both runners were at 1 hit from dying, basically, because of how the damage rolls for attacks work. Group B is literally too intense at the moment, because you've got 3 runners that are literally about a minute or less apart in PBs going into the tournament. then you've got obviously a lot of close matchups and everything like that happening. So it's too much to tell, really. So we're gonna
Well,
see
okay.
one of the.
This can be something.
Okay, so Fixie got the skip.
There we go. Fixie got it.
Oh, there we go.
So this is early burnt pan. A quick rundown is I don't know what you do, but you get the burnt pan early. Both runners get it.
Oh, Galaxtic doing the stick drop there. Galaxtic using overflow to do the stick drop. That's gaming right there.
That is gaming.
So I'll explain a bit more about the early pan skip that we just saw. So this actually stems from pre-punch card neutral runs. So you actually interact with the dog food bag on a certain pixel, and at the same time, because you're positioning yourself to where you'd actually interact with the dog food bag and the cutscene trigger at the same time, you're essentially overflowing the dog food bag without using a punch card by interacting with the dog food bag at the same time you'd be interacting with the cutscene. And it's basically a frame perfect trick, so kind of impressive to get, really. And obviously interacting with the dog food bag allows the overflow, and because we're actually able to move around during the cutscene, it just means that we can actually interact with the fridge while we're still talking to Mettaton and get the noodles. And the reason why we get the pan on top of that is with overflows when it comes to items, usually if we overflow an item, the next available item in that loot pool for that area is what we end up picking up as well. So, for example, a strategy in neutral would be to overflow the burnt pan to get the stained apron as a safety strat. But because we're overflowing the noodles, the next item that comes up is the pan. So we get the pan by default when we do that overflow properly. Also, it's a thing to note that Fixie actually put the pan on before exiting Muffet. It's actually still a bit faster to use the shoes in Hotland and put them on when you go into core.
Yeah. All the enemies in Hotland die very quickly, to the point where the pan isn't entirely necessary. And also, like, the shoes attack animation is very fast.
Yeah, the shoes attack animation is actually the fastest out of all the major weapons we use. And obviously, with the pan, it takes an extra attack pattern to actually complete the cycle. So that's why you tend to use the shoes in Hotland, because you don't need, apart from Sunderplane, you don't need to be super accurate with your kills against enemies, aside from Muffet as well. But Muffet, you can get an average hit and she'll die. So that's the reason why you don't normally put the pan on until you go into core, because core, the monsters get a little bit tougher. Yep, so stick doing the right method there, putting the pan on after Muffet, but again, there's a little bit of time lost if you put the pan on early, but it's not like super finicky. So Fixie going for the heal there, which good thinking, because at 10 HP into core, you really don't want to risk it. And we're gonna showcase the pan in its fullest potential here, because obviously there's two weapon choices here, pan and gun, but both runners I think opting for the pan. So there's 4 bars that come up across the screen per attack, and you're going to notice that the 4 frame perfect hits, as you just saw Fixie getting, it actually does about double the damage. And there's one encounter that we can get, or one set of encounters that we can get, that actually requires you to get a frame perfect hit with the pan to kill in one turn. Grab a believe is coming up in 2 encounters, which is the Night Night Magic. I was gonna say, this might be... Well, Fixie's saying he's on low 106 pace at the moment. I think both runners would be well ahead of PB at the moment, so... I'd say Stick is on a mid 106, Fixie's on a low 106. It just depends on how this core goes for both runners, because... Core grind is usually one of the major make it or break it points in no reset runs when we're grinding for PBs.
Yeah, because like the other areas, we only needed like 20, 16, 18. Including the 5 kills that we got in Hotland, we need 40 in this area.
Yep, and we saw Fixie narrowly missing the quad on the Night Night. That's unfortunate, because Night Night is... Oh, and we see Stick getting the quad, which actually brings it back to almost even. Oh. Oh, both runners missing the quad on Magic. So... And Fixie getting the cursed second turn quad, which really unfortunate, but it happens. And okay, so Stick getting a triple here, that's actually good because you want more triples in core, since obviously the premise that since most enemies are one-shot kills aside from Night Night Magic, or Astigmatism in this case, in Galactic's end, if you're not accurate enough with your pan hits. Okay, Fixie getting a Night Night. That actually puts him back on par. That actually puts him back in the lead. If Stick hadn't got the 2-turn on Astigmatism, that might have meant that Stick would have still been in the lead, but as it stands...
Oh yeah, no, I'll be honest, I've already completely lost track of the kills of these two. So...
I believe after this, both runners will be on 19.
Okay, I did better than I...
So there's been some good quads from both runners. Fixie getting the one quad that's mattered at the moment on the single Night Night, although
Yeah.
Stick did get the quad on the first Night Night that was scripted.
Yeah, on the scripted night.
So both runners even at the moment. Like, this is still anyone's game. They're basically about 9-10 seconds apart at the moment, I believe. And Fixie gets the quad on the Night Night, which saves a turn there. Oh, okay.
Couple magic quads.
So Stick got the single magic, which puts him 1 kill behind, but they both got the quads on the encounters there, which is really good. So
Yeah.
not losing out on any time.
Oh, missed the quad there.
Yeah, Fixie missing the quad on the Night Night. If he can get it on the magic though, he might
Still be
at the
like
moment. Yeah, because Fixie's 1 kill ahead at the moment technically.
Yeah, they're both at 24 right now.
Well, no, Stick's at 23 because he only got the single before, remember?
Didn't he get a triple at one point?
No, he got a triple, but then he got the single as well.
Yeah, I'm saying, I think everything should be balanced out.
I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know.
I've lost count now, it's official.
I think this Astigmatism is 26 for Galaxtic, and Fixie should be at 20.
I know they're on either identical or almost identical kill count. I think there's like 1 kill between. Oh, and as I say that, Stick gets a single 9-9, but he quads it.
I think Stick might have taken the lead at this point.
Yeah. And there's a triple, which definitely helps Stick there. Yeah, Fixie's getting a lot of Night Night Magics here, and unfortunately isn't able to quad them, so that's losing him a fair bit of time. This is what I... Sorry about that. This is what I was saying before about Night Night Magics basically ruining core grind, because obviously if you don't get a frame perfect quad kill on them, it automatically takes an extra turn to kill them, which just wastes time. Whereas everything else is usually a 1-turn hit, aside from whiffing the odd Astigmatism.
Yeah. This is not very good for Fixie.
Unless I've missed something, this may well actually be 33 for Stick.
I think it's 32?
If it's 32, then it's
I don't know why he went to the
32.
corner. Yeah, no, it's 32. He's
He would have been. He might have been wanting. He might have been hoping for another triple there. I think.
Yeah, that's what I think was happening, because the first triple that he got put him back to 30.
Yeah. So we may actually see him flee this Frogget here.
That would make sense. He's gonna probably flee this final Frogget.
There's a triple.
Oh, there's a triple.
Pixie.
Yep, there he goes. So now he's gonna start on Warrior Bridge. In this area, there's a bridge with 3 scripted encounters on it, and they all happen pretty quickly next to each other, so it's a great way to finish off your... Yeah, okay, so Fixie's like a bridge battle behind. Galaxtic with the quad on the Night. We'll see what happens in the Magic.
And he gets the quad on the Magic as well, so... I think Fixie needs to get the quads on the Night Magic here, and just... There's not really a lot that can happen after these sets of encounters that can actually change the run, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like, Sans die.
Yeah.
As far as I remember, neither of these runners have their, have a healing item.
I think they both have the noodles, don't they? Yeah. Stick has
Oh yeah, okay. Do you get noodles when you...
You get noodles because, you get noodles when you actually overflow the, yeah.
Okay. I wasn't 100% sure if the noodles meant, or the overflow meant no noodles or not. Oh, not even killing the astigmatism, Pixie.
Oh! And that's...
Oh no!
Oh, Fixie died to the astigmatism in the astigmatism Whimsalot combo, and I think is that
SRL says a forfeit, yes.
unfortunate.
Yeah, you, all I can really say is, you hate to...
Yeah, you hate to see it happen. It's...
Especially because that was a really, really good run before that core, but that core was just horrible.
Yeah. Fixie got really messed up by core. Yeah, it's really unfortunate with what happened to Fixie because it was still a fairly good run. It was still a fairly good race regardless because both runners were fairly close going into core, and even coming out, it wasn't too much of a difference.
Yeah, it was only going to be maybe 30 seconds at most.
30 seconds. No, Fixie, you don't suck at this game. Honestly, it was a really unfortunate situation with the group placement. between you, Snowy, and Stick, that group was always going to be stacked, and it was always going to be. I don't know what to say really. Like, just don't let this. I mean, yes, it sucks that what happened, but just try to, just I guess put it behind you now, and you know. Yeah, I mean, okay, given the nature of the fact that it was a race, it's obviously a little bit more of a bitter pill to swallow, but there's been all sorts of stuff with runs and that where this sort of thing happens, and it's frustrating, I get it, but, it's just, yeah, you've got so many top 10 times and all that in some of the major categories, so I wouldn't say that. It's one of those things.
Yeah. But Galaxtic is finally through New Home, so we're going to get to, the lad.
We're gonna be doing the Me Gunner fight now.
The lad. So yeah, Sans, there's actually not a lot of luck going on here. And by not a lot, I mean none. This is karma, dude.
I don't get the reference, but yeah. Guessing this is a Persona thing.
No! You don't know it? You seriously don't know it?
I seriously don't know.
Chat, do I tell him?
Oh, Rickroll. Yeah, Rick Astley.
Yeah. This is what I get. You know why? On Wednesday, I had a sub. My band director wasn't there. And so I had like an hour of free time during that period. So I learned how to Rickroll all my friends on the French horn. And then I Rickrolled all of them.
What's different? So until recently, there was a ban on using music mods in the runs. But however, with Megalovania having a really bad track record for getting copyright claims on YouTube, it was actually something that the community agreed on, just allowing music mods to be used within the game. So, yeah. Essentially, what Random's saying, yeah.
I guess I should talk about my surprise, by the way, because it didn't happen because Fixie unfortunately had that death. But my deal with Fixie was that if Fixie changed their Sans fight to the Wario World pause screen and then was in the lead during Sans so that it was playing on SpeedGaming and won the race, I would tier 2 sub to him. For those who don't know that song, I don't have words. Also,
Yeah,
fun fact
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, fun fact about this attack, if you're holding all 4 arrow keys at once, if your keyboard lets you do that,
Yep.
you can just dodge it for...
Yeah, Fixie has one group mate. Fixie, please just... I know it's not going to be much help to you now, but don't rush into this sort of thing, because I can understand where you're coming from, being frustrated and obviously having that happen, but... Yeah. I mean, if it's something you're genuinely not enjoying, I can understand, but obviously give it some time. Like, yeah, I mean, just take some time, just, I don't know, do something that relaxes you a little bit, just takes your mind off things, and then just go into the next race and just pretend this didn't happen. That's all I can really say, dude. I don't know, Galaxtic, did you just get a 106? Did you just get a sub me in a race? Okay, I'm gonna have to pull up my live slot real quick to confirm this because... Oh, I think I accidentally paused it.
I know how much time is left in the run from where I split for Sans, but it's still going to be a little while before we get to that point.
Yeah. I can tell you roughly what time he's going to be getting once he splits for... Well, I was going to say, Cookies, usually runners can tell basically after the final Sans attack what their time's going to be because it's usually a near identical stretch from that attack until the end of the run because obviously unless you do something stupid like wake Sans up early, which I wouldn't advise doing, waste about a minute. Unless you do that, usually it's fairly constant. What happened to Fixie? Fixie died to astigmatism and Whimsalot on Warrior's Path. So, depending on what time this cutscene finishes and what time Stick leaves the room, I can time that and I can tell you what his actual end time's going to be. Also, yeah, really bad core RNG for Fixie. Like, he was getting a lot of Nightlight Magics and singles. So, once we wait for Sans to go to sleep, we move
Sans is really sweaty. He should probably use like some deodorant or something.
Well, I mean, that was probably a fairly big workout for him, considering.
Is there skeleton deodorant?
I don't know, but I mean, I'm assuming Old Spice would work. I don't know if they have that down in the underground or not, but Old Spice would definitely.
I mean, anime falls down into the trash heap in Waterfall. Probably they get some.
Cool. Wait, are you saying Old Spice is anime?
No! I'm saying that there is a way for above ground products to fall into the underground.
Ah, right.
So it is plausible for Old Spice to fall into the underground, similar to the trash heap where Alphys finds all her in.
That is true. That is true. So...
Although you know what? You know Old Spice is anime now. You know what? Never mind. I just realized how funny that would be.
Can you just imagine Terry Crews in an anime? That would just be, yeah. So, in about 10-15 seconds, I can give you an exact time of what Galaxtic's final race time will be.
I can tell you where there will be 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in the run.
So, this is looking like a... Okay, so 11 seconds off of where my PB split at. So, this is a 106.36.
Oh. I got 106.4.
Because from where the split is in the doorway after you enter Judgment Hall, after you leave Judgment Hall rather, there's roughly 2 minutes 47 seconds, although, yeah, 2 minutes 47, so I just take 11 seconds off my PB time and that's 106.36.
Yeah, yeah, no, I got Ocean Bagel saying it's going to be a 106.38. I'm saying it's going to be either 106.39 or 106. Maybe I might get a 106.40 because I like putting file names that are longer than one letter. But yeah, this might be a 38.
I'm still gonna stick with my instinct and say it's a 106.36.
It's a 106.30 something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is a really good time.
Yeah, Fixie unfortunately died in core, so and Flowey getting deleted from existence. Yeah.
Looking at the leaderboards, if it is a 106.36, that'll tie Snowy's PB.
And of course, with Snowy and Stick still having their race to come, we've gone from 2 races with a 1 second difference in PBs to races with a tied PB.
Mm-hmm.
And there was, of course, the potential to have 2 races with 2 seconds time difference on PBs, but unfortunately, I don't think that'll be happening now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And before it's like a 106.37, and before we're both off by like 1 second. That's me, F.
F. Okay, today I learned that on the Undertale Genocide page, 20th place is a guy literally just named Horse.
Yep. And that was a 106.37, so we were both off.
We're all good at this. GG's to Galactic, though. That's a really good time.
Yep.
So we'll see if they join us for an interview, I suppose.
Okay, we have Galaxtic waiting, so they'll be coming in soon, hopefully. And I don't know if Fixie coming in.
I don't think so.
I honestly, I wouldn't blame him if he didn't, because in that sort of situation, it can be pretty crushing, and I think just... Yeah.
Hello.
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 GG's.
Thank you.
And also GG's on the PB as well.
Thank you for that too. I PB'd by 40 seconds.
I still can't believe you bopped me by 10 seconds, but it is what it is. Also, speaking of 10s, that's actually me out of the top 10 for now. Damn, I'm actually going to have to try and get back in there.
Oh, so I'm in the top 10 now. Cool.
Yeah, you're tied for 8th with Snowy at the... Oh no, actually, that was a 37, wasn't it? Yeah, so you're technically in 9th place at the moment, so...
Oh, that's cool. I'm in 9th place in neutral too, so... Full circle.
Oh.
Yeah,
Pop.
one thing I need to say about that run is, like, I almost puked during the online fight, because I was 1 hit away from dying, and I was like 1 hit away from missing a quick kill. Oh my god.
The last turn on the quick kill, you actually needed that triple crit in order to get it, because otherwise...
I had missed like 10 or 11, and I had some misses that were not very accurate.
Yeah. Because that's the thing though, is if you don't get good damage rolls, even getting the 30 critical hits might not get quick kill, but it was close all throughout. I think it was up to core, really, you guys were both neck and neck, and...
Yeah, Fixit was slightly ahead of me going into core.
Yeah, it was just really unfortunate that Fixie got the
got
end of the deal.
Bad RNG. I was just looking over his screen and I only like saw Knights and Magics. That
Yeah, I think he got...
devastating.
I'm pretty sure he got like 2 singles, if not 3, and as well as like another 2 or 3 9-night magic encounters.
And I got like, so I got no random double night magics, but I did get a single night and a single magic, I believe.
Yeah.
But I also got 2 triples, so I had overall a good core, hit most of my quads. Although one of my misses was on an Astig, and one was on a magic. That was pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, missing an astigmatism, it's yeah. Any more thoughts before we wrap up, or anything you want to say? Anything you guys want to say?
Well, I guess there's a few things I need to say about the run. Like, you know, I had a pretty good start. Like, even the ruins was pretty good for base standards. You know, sub 11. That's always nice. Then I had an insane waterfall. Like, I got perfect RNG in waterfall actually.
Huh.
So that fix was like 30 seconds ahead until I got perfect RNG in waterfall because I got the double molds and I got no extra errands and no temmies.
Yeah, because Fixie actually got the Timmy at 14 as well, so they put him back a little bit, but then... Yeah, that's...
Yeah, there's a lot of RNG involved in this. Like, there's... You know, there's... RNG determines a lot of these races.
Yeah.
So if you get unlucky, like Fixie did, you can sometimes just crash. Like, also if you get the... Sometimes dodging the attacks in core is just hard if you get enemies with hard attack patterns.
Yeah. Alright, well...
But yeah, I'm
yes,
overall
that's-
satisfied. I could have saved like 4 seconds if I didn't heal on Sans, and I didn't have to. I was like scared. But yeah, overall solid run. I
yeah, definitely.
would think that it's gonna take a while for me to PB again. It
Yep.
was pretty insane, PBing by 40 seconds in a race. I'm happy
And then,
about that.
then of course, coming up, there's also your race with Snowy, I believe.
Yeah, Snowy won both his other matches too, I believe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, because yeah, in that group we've got Snowy against Galaxtic and then Double O Matt against Fixie.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're fairly close to actually finishing the group stage. I think it's just group 1 that's, I won't say behind, but obviously still has a few more matches to do. But speaking of, speaking of, we don't have anything coming up tomorrow. On the 6th at 3 PM, we have Laurie against Bradley and the final Group E match.
Yep. I'm gonna get creamed.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Who knows? I mean, if our race is anything to go by, it could be a lot closer than that. And then on Monday the 7th at 2 PM, we have Radu versus Shay, and at 4 PM, we have Wizard Vapes against Team Live Ben. So, obviously, if you like what you saw today and want to come back for more, keep those dates and times locked in. Otherwise, that's it for me, and I don't know if anyone else has any closing comments.
Not really.
Go fast.
Yep, that's basically it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for SpeedGaming for having us, and obviously thank you guys in chat for showing up, and hopefully you guys enjoyed today, and we'll see you around hopefully on the 6th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you.